There was a very big, very old, very falling apart house. It was the kind of house nobody ever went into, because any house that looked like that just had to be haunted. And who would want to take a chance and find out for real? Nobody. Not on purpose. But sometimes things happen, and there's nothing you can do about it. The time this story happened was on a wet and rainy night. The driver was in a hurry. It was late, probably near midnight. Suddenly, out of the black bushes on the side of the road, a huge cat ran out in front of the car. The driver swung the car to save the huge cat that ran out onto the road. The car hit a tree, and there was no getting home that night. The man got out of the car, and in the dark, dark night, he could see the eyes of the huge cat staring at him. "You big, dumb thing," the man said. And the cat just stared at him, snarled, and ran away into the woods. It was raining hard, and the man could see absolutely nothing. He began to walk along the road, hoping that a car might pass and pick him up. But there was nothing. Nothing, that is, until he came to the huge old house by the side of the deserted road. There were no lights. Everyone must be asleep, he thought. But on a night like this, he was certain that they'd let him in. So he walked closer to the house. Closer. He was able to see that the windows were broken. Shutters were hanging, and the steps leading to the front door were falling apart. Well, thought the man, at least it has a roof. Maybe I can build myself a fire and dry off. He went in. The house was dark and seemed very empty. He lit a match, and by its light he could see a fireplace. There were old papers lying around and enough wood. He gathered it all up and started a nice, warm fire. It's not like home, he said to himself, but it's dry. And even if it's an old, coming-apart place, it's warm now. He put his hands close to the fire to warm them. When he turned around, he saw a small gray cat looking at him. He tried to pat the cat, but the cat moved away from him. So the man went back to the fire and listened to the thunder and the rain and wondered when the storm would stop. The front door opened. The man looked around, and coming through the door, he saw the huge cat he had met on the road. The cat didn't look at him. It walked to the small gray cat. "What are we going to do with him?" the big black cat asked. And the little cat said, "Wait till Martin comes." The man had never heard of talking cats, so he thought that maybe he hadn't heard what he heard. Maybe he was too wet, too cold, too tired, and he was beginning to hear things because he knew, well, just the way you know. Cats don't talk. So he went back to the fire and paid no attention until he saw another cat come through the door. This one was even bigger than the other cats. A huge, huge cat. The biggest cat the man had ever seen. He watched, a little afraid now, as the huge, huge cat walked to the other cats. The small cat asked, What are we going to do with him? And the huge, huge cat said, wait until Martin comes. And all three cats sat in a row and stared at the man. The man was afraid now. What was Martin? Who was Martin? And what could Martin do? He thought about the rain and hoped that Martin just wouldn't come. The biggest cat in the world walked through the door. The eyes of the great cat shone as it walked towards the man. Maybe this was Martin. And if it was, the man thought to himself, but he never finished the thought. Shall we do it now? The biggest of all the cats asked. And the little gray cat said, let's wait till Martin comes. The man didn't want to wait for Martin. Not now. Not even if it was raining harder than ever. Not even if the storm was getting worse. He wasn't going to wait for Martin. Not him. And he started to leave. And Martin came through the door.